Welcome back to a new video, guys. I have only just uploaded a video about a couple of weeks ago, but the actual camp was about a month ago now in, where was it now? Bedtime. We are currently on the outskirts of Derwent Water, and it's a camp that I think is used regularly, I would say. There is a fire pit that's burnt into the floor. Luckily there's no stones or like rubbish or anything around here, and obviously if I do find any I'll be picking some up on the way home, but just a bit of scorched ground. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. After that negative stuff though, would you please just look at that view. That's incredible. So we're actually due around 30 centimeters of snowfall, either tonight and tomorrow, and I have brought the same sort of gear with me today, with the hot tent stove, and we have a new addition of a new sleeping bag which I will go through, and you will also have a review coming out of that sleeping bag quite shortly. So if you know, after I've uploaded the review of the sleeping bag, if you guys want anything else reviewed of my gear that I've got, or even Nathan's gear that you've seen on the channel, please do just let us know, and we'd be more than happy to do a quick review of that, or a personal review should I say. I have got Niko with me, Niko the Husky, which you've seen her on the channel before. She's being such a good girl. However, she is doing a bit of exploring now. I did see a sheep just up there. Niko! I did see a sheep just up on the hill, which thankfully she hasn't chased down. But she's been really good. She's been really, really good. We did walk along a path to get here, but we have come off the beaten track to come around this sort of small peak in the peninsula coming out into the lake here, and then the actual path is, I don't know, about 50 meters that way. Niko, here! She wanders off a little bit, which will be fine when it's later, but unfortunately there's still dog walkers about on the path, so I don't want her to go too far out of my sight. But again, she's been such an absolute good girl, and yeah, she's been really good. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna set up the gear and obviously bring you along for that, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. Hopefully the snowfall comes, and if it does, hopefully I can get home in tomorrow afternoon, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It was a very flooded path on the way here, but it is what it is. I didn't get too wet, thankfully. So yeah, come with me while I set up the campsite. Hopefully you can hear me okay over there. So I'm going to be setting up a little bit different today, as I have done before. Sorry, as I haven't done before. And I'm going to be pegging out all four corners and then lifting the tent up rather than pegging out just the centres and sorting the ridge line out. So it's going to be a bit different, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll give a better pitch and more rigid top, I guess, especially with the snowfall coming. Hopefully. A lot of hopefullys there. As you can see from the pitch so far, guys, it looks very taut. It just takes quite a bit of like finagling to get it all in the right place, because once the 4 pegs are in, that's it then. So I think I might try it one more time after this camp just to see if I can get it any better or quicker, should I say, because the actual quality of the pitch seems to be so good so far. But again, it's just about ease of putting up. That's the reason I put this ridgeline on with the tensioners and all that sort of stuff. So I want to make it as easy as possible for myself without sacrificing too much pitch integrity, if you like. But this time it looks, again, really good pitch so far. I still need to put the 4 corner poles in, which I will do in just a second. But again, it took a little bit more finagling than I'm used to. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll do it another time. Maybe I'll get lazy, if you like, and go back to the old ways of just putting the ridgeline up and then working from there. But we'll see. We will see. Niko's again being amazing. As you can see again from the view behind me, guys, this is just stupid. I am wearing a bright blue jacket, which isn't great for this sort of camping. However, this is the best jacket I've got, warmest and most waterproof, so I thought better safe than sorry. And if we get moved on, we get moved on. That's the way it goes with wild camping / stealth camping, if you like, whatever. But it is what it is, and we'll have fun doing it, and hopefully the snowfall stops anyone from even bothering us. So you're being such a good girl. Up, come here. She's being such a good girl. You are. Go on then. Go on. Right, I will put the rest of this hot tent up and then we'll bring you back. So I won't be... First thing I'll be doing is probably gathering wood, maybe setting up the mat inside and all that, and the stove and whatever, but I need to gather wood as soon as possible before it starts going dark. There seems to be a lot of dead wood around, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, and I do have a new axe to test out this time, which is going to make it a lot easier to split wood, so we'll see how that goes as well. So catch you then. Hello. Okay. Oh my god. What are you doing? You getting in the way? What are you doing? You helping Dad put his poles together? Is that what you're doing? Very kind, isn't you? You were standing on a couple then though. Hello again, guys. So I thought I would just quickly run through the setup of the stove. So it's a Pomoli stove. I think I've mentioned it before. The titanium 0.6, I think it is. Again, I've been through which stove it is in the previous video, but let's just quickly go through the setup and how easy this is. So it comes in a few different parts, not many though. It's got straps on the main section here, so we'll undo them. Obviously get stuck to the glove. Now undo those straps, get them out of the way, and then you've got the lid with the screws for the damper already attached, and then this is how easy this stove is to set up. So the setup's the same on both sides, so it's just a clip on this side, like that, clip on this side, legs out, wait, legs out. We can now close the front and we can attach the top. And that is how easy it is to put this together. Amazing stove, really, really good. It's a good sort of even sacrifice of form and function and size, and quality for that matter. So I mean, the quality, you can't really get much better material wise except make it thicker, which again makes it heavier. So it's a balancing act really. So I'm going to take these 3 screws out the top, insert this damper into here, make sure that the actual mechanism handle is on the back side. And this stove I think has been used a few times, but camping wise it's been used 3 times now, or this will be the 3rd time. The first time was in Ennerdale, which wasn't filmed. The second time was in the last camp, the last video that you've seen, which was in Bedgullet, and it worked an absolute treat, as you can probably tell by the previous video. And this time, hopefully if we get some snow, give it a good test. It's going to get to very, very cold temperatures. It's forecast for at least 0, but it could go anywhere from -4 to 0 at this point. We really don't know at this time. And then you've got the chimney, which is quite, controversial. So some people have an absolute nightmare putting it together and putting it up. Some people put it up with one hand and one hand behind the back and blindfolded. It's kind of like an in-between for me. It's really good. You've got to make sure that you get the first burn-in right and the first folds right. But once it's done that, it's quite simple. Hopefully I can get it on camera. Niko, you might want to move because you're going to get scared by the noise. Go on. Wait. So that's usually how it goes for me. So the end doesn't really work properly. Just unfold it like this, and there we go. It's in the classic chimney shape. Now we get our many rings that we've got for the chimney. You just slide them on one end. Once they're on, you just slide them off. And then try and get them evenly spaced, and that's it. There we go. And now finally, before we put it onto the stove, we simply make sure it's straight at the top. Simply pop this in here, which is the spark arrestor. There we go. That should do it. So you might see that it seems like there's quite a few rings on this one, and there is, because last camp, which was kind of off camera but sadly didn't catch it, a couple of mishaps, but the biggest one was the fact that this chimney was huge. It was so tall, and I had the guy lines stretched out from the spark arrestor, tripped over one of the guy lines, chimney folded like a deck of cards. So I chopped off the part that was actually damaged. So as you can see, the rest of it seems to be in good shape, and it's actually a more realistic size, should I say. No, it's a more sensible size, should I say. So hopefully we can get it in, get it up, and it won't be too much of an issue now, and I won't even have to have guy lines at the top. So let's do that now. So guys, last time I was in here, I put the stove in this position, so the door is facing that way and the window is facing that way, and it seemed to work perfectly fine. Hopefully we can do the same this time. Let's get the flow. So probably the most difficult part about putting this stove together is getting this bottom part around the damper. Once it's on, like so, it works just as intended. Let's put it that way. There we go. And that looks pretty good. Maybe just shuffle it forward a tiny bit. And there we go. The job's good. So guys, next steps is to get some wood chopped, cut and processed, and then get the fire going because it is cold. I don't think the temperature's it's 2 degrees, so it is quite chilly, but thankfully, because I'm moving about, I'm not feeling it too much. The hot tent is pretty much set up. The bed, so the hammock, sleeping bag, mat, all that sort of stuff, I'll put up later on tonight because it takes up a lot of room. It sort of goes straight through the middle of the tent, sorry, so that will save me some space. I might actually, saying that, set it up like I did on St Herbert's Island, where I actually set everything up and then just hung the hammock along the back door, which definitely helped a lot as well, so I might do that. We'll see how it goes. Hello baby. Niko's having such a good time. She's explored as much as she wants to. She's got her harness off. She's a free dog at the moment, but she keeps going back to her dad for some reason. But it's so nice to have her around. Hopefully when the snow comes, if it comes, she'll have a great time. She's obviously built for it, so yeah. Those mountains in the distance that you saw are absolutely spectacular. So that's literally just over there through the door, so I should be able to see it until the sun goes down, and then tomorrow morning as well, which will be really nice. However, I've set this chair up. It's probably not a good idea because once you're sat down, once I'm sat down should I say, it's hard to get moving again, but without further ado, I'm going to go get some wood, process it down, and hopefully use my new axe and see how that goes. So come with me to chop some wood. So this wood seems to be a mix of like dry and not so dry, but it should all burn. I need to get this fire going now, just because I need to be able to have some comfort, and then probably a little bit later on I'll go out and search for some more dry wood, but let's just get it going first. This is the new axe. It's from Roughneck. It is American hickory and it's an 800 gram axe. I'm not really gonna say too much about it right now because I haven't used it. That was literally the first time using it, so I will comment on it maybe a little bit later, or again if you want a review on it, just give us a shout in the comments and I can definitely do that. Hello there guys, so I didn't actually record chopping the wood because unfortunately my phone camera died, but it works, it chops wood as it should. Obviously I need some practice at it, as anything would need, but it worked and I just want to get this fire going as soon as possible. So I've brought you back for loading the fire up. I am just loading in some smaller bits which just broke off. Just give it a bit of a base as well. I believe a lot of this is pine, if not all of it, so it should burn quite hot. Hopefully there's some resin in there as well, but we'll see. There we go. And now I am going to use some fire lighters. I say some, probably just one. I've only got 3 with me today, so I've got to use them sparingly. The temperature is currently 2 still, so same as it was. However, I am sweating, which is good and bad. Good because obviously it means more heat. Bad because more sweat, and sweat cools down and gets you cold. However, we can warm up very quickly with a few minutes near the stove. So guys, the fire is going. I'm just about to put another piece of wood in there, another half log, keep it going, and I'm just going to set up the hammock now, and then I am going to leave it at the back of the tent before bedtime. And Then I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of wine because I feel like I've deserved it after the work that I've put in today. Niko is in the corner of the tent over there. I'm not sure whether you can see her on shot right now, but for whatever reason I think she's got that spot warm and she doesn't want to move from there, but she's absolutely fine. She's happy and she's had a lot of running around today, so she's probably quite tired. I have got the sleeping bag out airing, lofting up, sorry, the new down sleeping bag. That is just behind me. I'll give a better look at that soon. But it is there in case she wants to get on it, but it'll be going in the hammock in just a second. So the tent is warming up. You can kind of see my breath still, but it's only 2 degrees still outside. It's definitely cooled down. Well, I've definitely cooled down without my jacket on and without moving around too much. And yeah, I'm just glad to have this fire going because it's definitely a lot more comfortable in here. I've closed 3 of the 4 doors, so that side's completely closed behind me, and then in front of me the left side behind the stove is closed, and then I've got 1 door open still. All of the snow skirts are out just in case it does lash it down with snow, so that should keep some of the insulation in if it does. The carbon monoxide alarm is set up, so I'm all safe and sound. There's no reason to be concerned anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get straight onto this. I'm gonna get the hammock up, and then I'm gonna get a glass of wine or a cup of wine if you like, and then I'll bring you back a little bit later. And it's got a lot darker since I last spoke to you. It is very, very dark now, but it's still, from what I can see, looks amazing. But thanks for coming along for this one, guys. I don't think I've thanked you this far into the video, but it's the first camp of 2025 for me, and I've got a good feeling about this year. I think it's gonna pan out, and I think as long as I just keep doing what I'm doing in, you know, camping life, personal life, work life, I think it's gonna be a good year. So on that note, should I say, I'm gonna get to it. So I'll bring you with me while I'm setting up the hammock. And then wine. Thank you. So guys, I am warm. I'm actually warm. I took my shoes and socks off because I don't know why, but all of a sudden my feet started getting cold and I was like, what the hell's going on there? Took my shoes off and my socks were absolutely soaking wet through, so I had to get them off. They're drying up on the inside ridge line now. Hopefully they shouldn't take too long. I do have a spare pair just in case, but now is my time to relax a little bit. I will have to go and get some more wood soon because again, I didn't cut too much up or process too much because I just wanted to get warm and get the fire going. But it's healthy now. It's got a lot of embers in there, healthy embers, so that you can lash pretty much anything on there now and it should go up. And yeah, it's now time to sit back and relax a little bit. Currently got some Barefoot Merlot red wine. It's really nice. It's actually not as good as, I mean, the wine that I had in last camp was Jammy Red, which is my favourite. It just tastes like juice, which is it's fantastic. This one isn't actually my favourite Merlot. My favourite one so far is unbelievably the one from Aldi. I'm not sure why, but it just works well for me. So at least I now know that Barefoot Merlot isn't for me, which is alright. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit back, relax. Next time I will be bringing you back to talk. Might be when I'm eating my supper or dinner. At the moment I'm just gonna have a couple of snacks because I'm not that hungry, and yeah, a couple of snacks will do me absolutely fine. So I'll have maybe a yogurt and some crisps for now. But it's finally comfortable in here. My hammock is now set up as well, and just in the back over there, so it's ready to just sort of string up and put the sleeping bag in, and that should be all sorted. And thank you again for watching the video. and I hope you're enjoying it so far. Fingers crossed for some snow, because that is what's going to make this one magical. Regardless, we're going to have a brilliant time. I say we, you know what I mean. And yeah, just going to maintain this fire now and kick back a little bit. Oh, it's so nice and toasty. T-shirts on, socks are off, nice and warm. What a feeling. So, I am just sat on this beautifully placed bench on the edge of the lake, and it's absolutely phenomenal. Yes, I'm in a t-shirt, but it is cold, but and I've just nipped back to the tent then, and it's nice and warm. It's like going back home. So I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like, do you know when you go play out in the snow or something like that? You know, when you're a kid and you always knew that when you go back home, you're nice and warm no matter what happens. That's kind of how it feels. So I don't, even though I'm getting cold in a t-shirt, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But this is already, I mean, it's only 20 to 7 p.m. and it's already amazing. I've just been relaxing. I processed a little bit more wood. Sadly, I didn't really get much footage of the axe being used to process the wood, but I will be doing that more either later or tomorrow. Maybe if I do it later in the dark, I could probably use like the lantern that I use for inside the tent. Maybe that'll work. So we'll see. But Niko just wanted to go out and have a little play. She's eating her food, as you've seen on the clip just before. She enjoyed it, but it was a lot of food for her, so she didn't end up finishing it. But she's got water and food inside the tent now, so if she ever needs to have any sort of sustenance, if you like, then she's got that ready when she is inside the tent, because the tent is zipped up now. But it was hot. It was so warm. I was sweating. I was absolutely sweating, and I had to damp it down. I've put the stove on as low as it will go. There's a couple of logs in there that have been burning for at least half an hour, and they're still going strong, and the tent is just really warm. It's beautiful. So I'm going to chill out here for a little bit longer until I can no longer bear the cold, because Niko is having an absolute blast. Yeah, it's amazing. I've still got a few things to talk about, including the sleeping bag and possibly a couple of other things if I can remember. But yeah, one thing I will say is processing wood with the axe makes the stove 10 times better. It burns so much hotter, and it's so much easier to just get the stove going. I will actually admit to a flaw. When I first lit the stove, which you actually seen on the video, the wood just wasn't dry enough. Even though it was twigs, it just was not dry enough, so it didn't take very well at all. So I ended up having to use the axe and process a lot of kindling, which wasn't hard at all, which is weird for me because it's not usually an option. But it wasn't hard at all. Got some kindling together, used one more firelighter, and it went up like God knows. It was really good, and it's been going ever since. So at least I know what to do now if I ever can't find dry twigs, because everything's very wet around here. Even like the dead standing is either like, well, it's got loads of moss on it, or it's soaking wet through. I tested a couple of dead standing, and they were soaked inside, which is weird for me, but it is what it is. It's all learning. It's all a bit of a learning curve, and it always will be, which is why I love coming out and learning every time. But I will actually show you. I can't show you video because it is just too dark, but I'll show you a couple of photos over the screen now of the mountains in the distance. There is also a hotel that's lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm assuming that's set all year round, and it looks really nice. It looks really nice, but thankfully it is out of view quite well. I mean, it's obscured, should I say, from the tent, so it's really good. Hello. Oh, Niko's come to join us. Hello, honey. Okay, you've been having lots of fun. She's such a good girl. She's got no harness on. She's a free roaming dog. I wouldn't usually. I say I wouldn't usually do it. I would only do this if I felt she was in the right headspace, because she can change headspaces. She's not always a you know, a golden child, if you like. But today she has been, and she's proven herself, and she knows that you have to listen. When Dad says come here, you come, don't you? Yeah, even with that sheep, she did end up spotting it, but she was just... It blows my mind. She blows my mind every single time when we come to a new encounter where she's not really been in the same situation before, and she was interested in the sheep. She really was. But as soon as I noticed that she was interested in it, and the sheep, it's a ram actually. It had a horn, which is obviously not ideal, but it was what it is what it is. And yeah, I just said come back here, and she came straight back, didn't you, honey? And then she just stopped bothering it, which is perfect. I put her on the lead for a little bit just to sort of make sure, because when I'm setting up camp, it's hard to keep an eye on her 24/7. And not that I felt like I had to this time, but you know, it's better safe than sorry. So either way, she was amazing, absolutely amazing. And obviously she's a Siberian Husky. They're not known for being, you know, well behaved, or is that how you disciplined? They're not very well known for being disciplined, but she has been absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Next time we take a pup out, it will actually be Poppy, who is a border collie. You haven't actually seen her on the channel before. You've seen Niko. You haven't seen Poppy on the channel before, but she is an absolute darling to camp with. She stays very close. She causes no stress ever. But yeah, you'll have to see her on camp. I can't wait until you see her on a video, because she's my other baby. She's Niko's little sister. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna finish off this wine. I'm not feeling the cold much at all at the moment, which is really nice. It's still only... Oh, it's dropped to 1 degree. But it's not... I think because of my internal temperature is so high because of the tent, I'm not feeling it much at all, which is a really nice feeling when you're out camping. But yeah, I'm gonna chill out for a bit on this bench, get this bright light out my eyes because I can't see a thing. I'm gonna have a look at the scenery a little bit more, and then head back to the tent when Niko is ready. She's very intrigued at the moment. Anyway, catch you in a little bit, guys. So guys, this is very simple dinner, but it is ramen. It's chicken ramen. I think it's called Damae ramen, if I'm right, from a company called Nissin. But regardless, I know they're amazing, so there's no need to wonder before I take the first bite. So I'm going to tuck into these. I've processed some more wood since we last spoke, and I've got like a 3-foot log to sort of process inside the tent if needs be, but it should be okay for at least tonight. And then I've got a little bit of kindling for tomorrow as well, so we've got that ready for when the cold morning comes into play. But the snow hasn't started yet. It's due to start at around 11. I think it's around 9 or 9:15 or something like that at the moment. And yeah, this is my dinner for tonight. Very excited for it, believe it or not, because everything tastes better when you're camping. But I've had a cracking time. Two local, I say local to me at the moment in the tent, campers actually came over and checked out the hot tent. They were amazing guys, a couple of people, and they're currently camping in tents. Unfortunately, I took their spot tonight, but hopefully they'll enjoy it via the video if they do watch it. But yeah, all the best for them on their camping night, and hopefully we can get some snow and we can all enjoy the snow together. But anyway, alas, I will tuck into this, and then I will probably catch you guys next time at bedtime. Oh, can't wait for the food or the bedtime. Niko's currently curled up on top of the sleeping bag, keeping it warm for me. Half on the sleeping bag and on the hammock mat at the back of the tent over there. I'm not sure whether you can see her in the shot. She's really happy. We've been out for a couple of runs, a couple of walks. She's having the time of her life, so it's been a pleasure having her here with me. She's very fast asleep at the moment. Obviously I'm not just sitting here in silence, however much the campfire does sound amazing. I've been listening to a variety of music, whether that be Bohemian Rhapsody from Queen or Coldplay, or a huge variety of music. So yeah, don't feel like I'm just sitting here in silence. It's not the case. Obviously, just for YouTube it's not possible to listen to music while you're filming. But yeah, I should have enough wood for tonight. And then again, if not, or if I need more for the morning, I do have that log which can be processed inside the tent, which is a breath of fresh air. But yeah, catch you at bedtime next time, guys. Thanks again for joining. Hope you're enjoying. I definitely am. It's roasting in this tent. So guys, I am going to be settling down for bed now. I am absolutely shattered. Oh, I just processed some more wood for the morning, and it's roasting in here now. So yeah, I played a few games of Rocket League with Nath on my phone, and it went flawlessly. Not the games, but the signal and the gameplay. So that was really cool, just to be able to play that in the middle of nowhere. I've got tea, a cup of tea prepped for tomorrow morning, so I don't have to leave the tent. I can just sort of get the fire going and then start a tea, a brew. And when I was processing the wood just then, I did start to see very small snow flurries, so maybe it's still going on at the moment, but they're very, very light, very thin. But yeah, that should pick up overnight. And yeah, thank you again for coming along. If anything crazy happens in the night, I will be sure to bring you back, but for now, thank you and good night. Good morning, guys. So I've been up for a little while, just sort of walking around with Niko. There isn't much snow, but there's a little bit. It's more on like the fields and the mountains and the hills than down here, but it's a little bit white nonetheless. And Niko's been enjoying her time, and yeah, I've just made myself the first cup of tea of the day. It'll probably be my last, because I do want to pack up and get out, because I don't know, I just don't want to get snowed in any more than it already has. So hopefully the drive home should be okay, but we'll see. So last night I was nice and warm in the sleeping bag, very nice and warm. However, the condensation from my body for being so warm on the tent, with the sort of little gusts of wind that came through, it was like very lightly like splashing little bits of water on my face through the in the sleeping bag. So I had to button the hatches down of putting the hat on and rolling over, but since then it was fine. Sleeping bag got a little bit damp on the top, but that's completely expected given the circumstances. Yeah, the stove obviously died out, but this morning, because I had all the wood prepped already, got it up and running very easily. Excuse me. And then got the water on to boil. For breakfast this morning, I'm not really cooking anything. I'm just having a couple of breakfast biscuits. Very simple, but it'll do for today to get me back home. But yeah, it's been such a lovely camp. It really has. Niko's been a darling. She's been really good, and yeah, I might have to wash up a couple of dishes before I get going and start packing down. I will be packing down inside the tent just to make sure that if any rain or snow does start, I'm all protected and I don't get caught out. So yeah, thanks again for watching the video, guys, and very impressed with the axe, the sleeping bag, and any of the little bits that I got for camping over Christmas. But guys, it's nice and warm. I've got this jacket on just because I keep nipping in and out, but it's warm in here. It's very warm, and it's currently around 0 to 1 degrees, but you know, with the wind chill coming from the lake, it's definitely colder than that. But yeah, I'm going to finish this cuppa with some breakfast biscuits, and then probably show you a few shots of the area with the snow on it and whatnot. And we might go on a little walk, me and Niko, before we start packing up. And then I will bring you back for packing up and then saying goodbye. But for now, enjoy the following shots. Hot. So guys, I hope you can hear me. I'm going to make it short and sweet because the camera's just about to die. But all packed away now. The wet backpack's going to be quite heavy. Left absolutely no trace whatsoever. Perfect sort of in and out kind of camp. So yeah, everything's packed away. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you've got any suggestions, or you know, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to subscribe. A lot of the videos are like this one. And next weekend, me and Nathan are actually going back to Ennerdale to do a hot tent camp with a couple of hammocks. So that's going to be brilliant, so tune in for that. But yeah, me and Niko have had a great time. Thanks again for watching. See you guys later.